Hey guys, I wanted to step you through designing with SketchUp your the 5 scenes of Almost Maine. And in doing that, let's start with which ones that will be. I'd like you to work on her heart and this hurts. Getting it back. Story of hope. And seeing the thing, those 5. Each one of those scenes has many of them porches, lived rooms. They have walls. It gives you a lot of opportunities for design work. The other ones that I'm working on, the other 4, are ones that are single, single props, and I've worked with it directing some specifics that she would really like to see. So I will take you through some of the basics of how to manipulate these designs that are already established, and then polishing them into your own designs through use of additional textures, manipulating the textures, and 3D warehouse in building props. So in doing that, I'm going to start with the prologue one here that has the bench. And instead of building a bench from scratch, what I'm going to do is go to the 3D warehouse and look for a bench. Okay, I've already typed in here just a little bit ago, park bench, and start searching for some. There's a wide variety in looking under products and models and collections. There's hundreds of them. Some of them are more modern in style. Some of them in very traditional and Victorian. Some of them brand new, actually from, you can buy them, which is kind of cool. I'm looking for a very traditional type of bench, much like this one here. Gets a little more look at it. This is very cool. This one is as well. Take some collections. So take in, look at more details. This one's pretty nicely developed. But I could click on it, download it right directly into my model. In this case, I have done that already with one because I was finding it had taken me a long time to download and wanted to keep this moving. So I found a model, downloaded it into the model, and now click on it. I want to move it into place and replace the clunky bench thing that I built. Easiest way to do that is clicking on the move tool, that little arrow, taking it and then dragging it over to that place. All right, let's zoom in a little bit more. If I grab that corner, I should be able to touch into existing corner. Okay. And click on that. Now it's floating a little bit. I'm going to grab this there, touch it right there. I think this guy's foot was in the way. So now I've got a bench that's hidden by this other bench. Using my orbit tool, I'm going to rotate around. One thing I'm looking at, it's a little bit small. So I'm going to actually click on it and click on the Resize tool, this scale. Click on that, and I want to use these bars to resize the whole thing. I can't really see it, so I'm going to click on the stand-in bench that I've got and hide that. So go to Edit, Hide, make that disappear. Now I'm free to click on this and click on the scale. And this one here right in the middle, if I use it, I can stretch it out quite a bit, whatever size that I want. It feels a little bit better. I'm going to check and unhide my bench that I had earlier. And it's about the right size. Click. See if it moves anymore. There you go. Grab the other ones. I can stretch it in different sizes. That's pretty good. All right. So now I'm going to click on the stand-in bench and hit delete and make it go away. I really like this bench. It looks terrific. Good scale, good look. The only thing, it looks too new for me in this park. I'd like a kind of worn feel to it. It gives it a sense of time. It's been passing. This is not a bench that you've gotten from Costco. So I'm going to change the look of the wood of this, and probably the paint job on the railings as well. But all right, so I'm doing that. I can double click on the image, and I want to go to Paint Bucket and look through colors, which is this little brick. And so within that little brick, I can look at different textures, because colors and model, there's fabric, there's brick, wide variety of things. You can look at different kind of carpet, all sorts of stuff. What I want to look at in particular here is wood texture. And this is a wood texture that I tend to have used in the past. One that in particular I like. I'm going to look at this one right now and repaint it. See how that looks. That's nice. It's a good aged wood. Click on these and see how that's looking. It's not bad. Click all the surfaces. Use my orbit tool to buzz around a little bit and zoom in, paint bucket around them. Okay, it's looking a little bit better. I'm not sure if I really like that. I'm going to take a look at this one. See if that looks any better. Oh, that's really nice. Look at that chipped old paint. That one, that looks really kind of gorgeous. I'm going to use that one. All right. Go through and weather all that up. Okay. Oops, let's try to catch up. Bouncing ball. Let's see if I can make my computer crash. There we go. All right. Paint this, paint all the surfaces, that'd be fine. All right, that's one way to approach that. if the color is there from as you want. I'll show you a little bit later what to do if you don't have the color that you like. I'll just spin around this, and so discovered that it looks like I haven't painted all the surfaces, but I can come back and do that. Even the back side here, I didn't paint it automatically. Okay, I can come back and paint some more in a couple of minutes here. But in the meantime, I can also look at how white this is. I want to try to take it to a black, and look at some different types of metals. I'm not too impressed with any of those right now. Synthetic surfaces. Okay, that's an interesting black. Let's see what that looks like. It's got some texture to it. It's kind of fun. Maybe I'll work with that. Okay. One of the nice things about it, you look at it and you go, I'm not crazy about it. You can change it. Okay. Oops. It's looking interesting. It's not clicking on this. I think it's deeper. Yeah. I have to click on it with the arrow key. Maybe. Sometimes they just don't want to paint. And there we go. Keep clicking it. Often it will allow you to paint it. Okay. And then I'll want to do the same with this one. Actually allowed me to paint it all when I went in there. That's kind of cool. All right. It's amazing. All right. So I've got a pretty interesting look for my bench. Truthfully, it looks a little white, but I'm going to leave it at that right now. I may come back and change that to something that is a little less bright, more aged and weathered wood. But let me move on to another one. All right, so I have a look for that. Let's see. Have you work on her heart? Let me look at Sad and Glad right now. Sad and Glad does have walls in it. I want to take this as a bar, and I'm going to work on a few things with it, and can give you direction with your other pieces. All right, so I'm going to this wall. Each one of these wall models are a group. That's why all of it's selected when I click on it. So to get inside that group, you double click on it, and then many of the pieces inside the groups are additional subgroups. Like this wall here is a subgroup. If I want to try to move it, I can move the whole thing because it's a group. Undo. If I want to work inside of that group, I'm going to have to double click on that there, which I just did. Keep on clicking and you'll finally get to a surface that you can manipulate. In this case, I'd like to make this wall a brick wall. And so I've clicked on it enough that it's active because it's got little tiny dots all over it. And then I want to come over and grab my paint bucket as soon as it starts rendering. All right, a paint bucket, and I want to look at the brick cladding and siding. The brick, there's a lot of different bricks in here to choose from. I've added a few more, and like this one in particular, I can click on it, and suddenly it's painted the whole thing brick. It's kind of nice brick. It's kind of a beautiful red brick. Let's look at a couple other ones here. This is looks like it's golden stone, green, blue brick. This is a nice one here. It's white stone. It's interesting, but I'm looking at something like this right now, and I really kind of like this. It's got some age to it. It's a little dark, weathered. It's not too regular. It's got a nice aged stone quality to it. So I've painted that brick wall that color. I want to paint these columns as well, so to do that I need to get back to my arrow tool, click off of it, and we'll click this column, and work it as well. Now this column in this case is a component. This column and this column and this column are all treated as the same thing, and so when I click on it on one, it's going to treat all the rest of them, like this one and this one. Let's see, I didn't do one surface of it, so I should do that. Again, paint bucket. Click on that. I painted that wall too. All right, since this is a different group, you need to double click on that. Paint bucket as well. And I've got another brick. If I will, there. So I like the way that that feels. And moving around in here, I've got gorgeous older brick wall, which is kind of fun. We had a mistake that happened. I'll show you that. The bench from the first scene is showing up in here, and that gives me a good chance to show you how these layers work. I'm going to go back to the prologue, first scene where the bench was, and work with you on this here. So click on the bench, little bench. Click on the bench, and what to look for is under Tools, Windows, under Windows, I'm looking under Entity Info. It tells me about this specific piece. If I click on Entity Info now, click on it. Entity Info shows up here, and it tells me what specific layer, they call them tags, that model piece is. Currently, it's under untagged. The models, the layers or tags in this whole model are all of these. Think about them as specific invisible layers, just like in many applications, but transparent sheets that you can turn on and off. The prologue sheet is here. If I turn that little eye off, the people go away because they are in the prologue tag. he's in the prologue tag. The back wall is in the Sky Psych tag, which is way down here. If I turn that off, it'll disappear. Okay, turn it back on, it'll come in. So right now the bench is in this untagged one. I want to move it actually to the prologue tag, and is to do that I click on this and then run down to the prologue tag. All of them are here. I'm going to go back up to the prologue tag, click on that one, and now it lives in that prologue layer. If I turn prologue off, it'll disappear. Back on, it's there. So now, if I go back to her heart, I'm sorry, we were doing the sad and glad scene. It should not be there anymore. Yay! Okay. Similarly, sad and glad shows up. All of this shows up in the sad and glad tag. Okay. I'm going to stop here and continue with another tutorial in a couple of minutes, and show you how to decorate this bar.